In an Edmunds exclusive, here's the ultimate muscle car comparison. We've got the Chevy Camaro ZL1, Dodge Challenger Hellcat, and Ford Shelby GT500. These cars have never been as powerful or as capable. We have them outfitted in their highest performing configurations. The ZL1 has the 1LE track package, the Hellcat is the Redeye Widebody, and the GT500 has the carbon fiber track package. And they're all automatics too. We've already done the drag race, go watch that video if you haven't already. To do these cars justice in a proper comparison, we're going to find out which one's the fastest around a road course, which one's the most fun to drive, which one sounds the best, which one has the most useful interior, and which one does the baddest burnout. First, let's acknowledge our obvious biases. Kurt's a Ford owner, Alana's a Dodge owner, and I'm a Chevy owner.
I also have a Plymouth and a Pontiac.
How are those brands doing?
Kurt, you are mean but fair. The point is, it all cancels out, we're on an even playing field.
So which one of these cars is the ultimate? Let's find out.
All right, we have 3 extremely powerful cars behind us, and not only are they full of horses, they're also quite capable. Like, they can go around road courses, they're good on the street, but if we are going to call them muscle cars, there is one thing that they have to be able to do.
Burnouts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to get this comparison off on the right foot by doing a burnout super test. Rules are simple. From a stop, start a burnout, and then go for distance. Longest burnout wins, but you can't use your brake pedal. No. This is a measurement of just pure raw horsepower. If we see your brake lights, you're DQ'd because science.
Yeah, I mean, burnout scientists say that.
Yeah. All right, stability control off, traction control off, manual mode engaged. I'm gonna try to shift as manually through the gears, try to avoid red line, and we'll see how this goes.
Carlos, in 3, 2, 1, go.
That was weak. So the burnout won't carry through an upshift. You're basically limited to whatever first gear red line's at. That was just a practice run.
All right, Carlos, 3, 2, 1, go.
That's a burnout. That's a burnout without brake use. Normally you would use the brakes to, of course, control the speed so you can do the longest burnout possible, but without brakes, that's a burnout. Okay, I don't feel so embarrassed anymore. The trick though was to leave it in automatic and let the transmission shift itself, because if I tried to shift manually, it would end the burnout. And the only thing that did, well, it didn't do much of a burnout. The only thing it really did is make me question my, manliness.
Well, and
Really?
also like whether or not you were truly an American. We were a little worried about you.
I was worried myself. So we are still.
No, and I think you're still going a little bit.
See some.
I'd say it ends right about here because I don't really see anything past there.
It's going to take a vote of 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I can see it.
187-foot burnout. I'm okay with that.
I mean, it definitely gives us something to shoot for.
All right, burnout time. I want everything turned off. And I'm gonna get some wheel spin with the brakes and then let it rip. I'm not gonna shift it itself, I'm gonna let it handle it. So wish me luck.
3, 2, 1, go.
Woo! That was kind of spicy. Squirrely. Not the best.
You know, Kurt, I was expecting more of a smoke show. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Looks to be like it was worse than the Camaro.
Yeah, I have to say the whole no brakes thing so that you can't really torque up on it and like get them spinning, that's a hard rule.
You know, but it's also, that's the only way to make it scientific, because you could probably drag the brakes on things and do a burnout for the entire duration of the straight. But like, it didn't look like that could do a standing burnout.
I don't know what it is, but it just wouldn't really break the rears loose, and I just kind of had to build up a little bit RPM and then just floor it.
It seemed like you had to let the clutch engage.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
And then you just rode out through first, but then you shifted into second and
as soon as it hit second, it hooked up and the thing catapulted forward.
Still seeing lines though.
Yeah, I mean, they're still there. It's
They're just getting fainter.
You know, the car does have a full tank of fuel. So that's more weight.
And we just ate lunch.
I mean, that is burnout science.
Yeah. The funny thing is it looks like it resumes when you got it in a second,
Yeah.
but it stopped here.
It counts. It breaks, it counts.
Yeah, no,
Second gear burnouts are cool, but
only if it's continuous.
longest contiguous burnout. So we'll call it 120,
124, 125?
124.
Yeah,
124.
I appreciate your generosity.
I'm excited and a little bit nervous. Okay, SRT mode. I'm gonna use the same one I use for drag racing. And then let's get the traction control all the way off.
3, 2,
Bravo!
So,
yes.
Bravo!
Yes.
Did that count?
Did that count?
I like how polite you were to let off after you trounced him, and you were, I don't have to go any farther than this.
You're a gracious winner.
I think it might win.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
You were a gracious winner.
I know, but it's just so fun.
What I like is it's not just the length, it's how dark the tire is
Oh, yeah.
relative to the
Well,
Mustang
you know
and the
why? You
Camaro.
know why? Because that thing is heavy, and when it's sticking it down, it's sticking it down.
I'm actually wondering if we have enough measuring tape. We may have to put down a marker somewhere and do some math afterwards.
I mean,
Goodness.
at least there's no question about where it ends. You know, I was born here, but I feel like today is the day I truly became an American.
Your birth certificate's just been laminated in this test.
We're gonna put a picture of me in the White House.
So we've gone way past where my mark.
So 200 plus.
Beyond 200.
200 plus. Should we call it good with 200 plus?
No, I want every
You
single
want every
inch. Yeah.
inch? That's gonna take forever to reel that in.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna say, I mean, it almost keeps going.
Well,
but
it's like yours.
keep
It stops
pulling.
and
Does
then
stop.
it
It's
restarts. So,
right here.
Right here?
right
pulling.
there. So that's,
We'll call it 250.
yeah, let's just
Sure.
call it 250.
Just because what's the point of specificity at this point?
That down there.
Chuckle it up,
Oh yeah.
losers.
Look at that. That's gonna be here forever.
I think they can see it from space. Before we go any further, guys, can we just take a moment and process what's happening here? We have three cars, three American pony cars with an average horsepower of,
736.
did you do that math in your head?
Did it before.
Oh,
So smart.
he's super smart. But that's nuts. 736 is the average. You don't need a racing license. You don't need to have previously owned a lesser model from the same brand. Like, any one of us could just walk in, if we had the money, and then drive out in one of these.
You're not old enough to buy a beer, but you're old enough to walk in and buy one of these cars.
That is very kind of you, Kurt, but I am actually over 21.
Let's talk about what makes each one of these cars special. And let's start with the Dodge.
Sure. I mean, I did not expect to be standing here saying this, but this 797 horsepower wide-body Redeye Challenger is the least extreme car here.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have a giant carbon fiber wing, doesn't have cool little arrow running all along the side. Even the hood, while functional, is kind of subtle compared to these two. And I think that's because both the Camaro and the Mustang are really focused on road course use. It's not that the Redeye isn't track focused, it's inspired by Dodge's barely legal drag racer. So the technology that's on it is more drag race focused, right? It's got like a chiller and the supercharger so that the air that goes in is really cool, so you can just keep running it, haul up it all day long. Has great apps in the infotainment system so you can track all your quarter-mile runs. It's got a line lock, you can do great burnouts. It's got 4 seats, you can put your whole family in it. It's got heated and vented seats, a heated steering wheel, good radio, like you can just drive around and use it like a normal car. But it's not exactly the same usage plan as these two.
totally. The Camaro, I believe, is the underdog here. It's got the least power at 650. That's the bottom end of the spectrum in this comparison. It's the lightest, it has the least amount of interior space, has the least amount of visibility too, lowest price, and least tread wear. These tires have a tread wear rating of 100.
So that's just basically smooth, right?
Yeah, we're gonna change them just after looking at them today. You know, they're gonna be done. But that speaks to the car's racetrack intentions, like you mentioned. It's got the 1LE track package, which gives it the wing, gives it the aero on the front, and it gives it these really trick fixed dampers that are definitely for racetrack use, not for daily drivability comfort. This thing is firm, but it goes around racetracks really quickly. And it's still the least expensive car here, and in spite of that, it's got some really cool tech, like the performance traction management, that really sophisticated stability control system that actually helps you drive faster. It's got an onboard video data logger. It's got an electronically controlled locking differential. You can get it with a manual, ha ha ha.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Okay. And it's got an ass-tested price that's 20 grand less than this Mustang.
About the price. We'll come back to the price. The Camaro's old, and the Challenger's even older. So it is a brand new car, so you will pay a slight price premium. But it has the smallest engine, but it makes the second highest amount of horsepower. 760 horsepower from a 5.2 liter engine. This particular car is equipped with the carbon fiber track pack, which is why the price goes up over 94,000 bucks. But with that, you get these really trick carbon fiber wheels. And to my memory, there are only 2 other cars in the world that use them right now. So,
and one of them is a Ferrari.
Yes.
And isn't the other the Ford GT?
Yeah.
Yep. Also part of the carbon fiber track pack is that cool rear wing and the lack of a rear seat. You can't be taken seriously if you have a rear seat. So this car's serious. It also has MagneRide shocks, which are perfect. They handle the occasional track use or the constant track use. They handle highway driving. I think this car is the best all-around performance car of the 3.
All-around performance car. Performance is great, don't get me wrong. But that's all track stuff, right? And how much time are you going to spend on the track versus on the street?
The idea of a practicality test with these cars seems silly, but if you think about it, it makes sense, right? If you're gonna take one of these cars, if you're gonna buy one of these cars, you're gonna go to a drag strip, you're gonna go to a racetrack, and you're probably gonna want a backup set of wheels and tires. And unless you have a trailer, those wheels and tires are gonna need to go somewhere.
Like in the car?
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think it is silly to do a practicality test on these cars because I really think that most of the people who buy them will have them on the street more than they'll have them on the track. For those folks, just pretend that these tires are groceries or babies.
Those are big babies.
We're gonna try to fit as many wheels and tires into these cars as possible. Points for number of wheels and tires that we can fit and the amount of time that we can get them all fit by. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be fine.
Those are huge tires.
They're big tires.
Oh. Okay, I got this.
But yeah,
It's gonna
let's
be
probably
fine.
help. No. Yeah.
You got that?
Oh, I got it.
You think we can get 2?
No.
Well, that doesn't matter then. I think we get one in the back seat. You guys do the other back seat.
Okay.
Ugh, glad we bagged these.
Let me get that for you.
Thanks. Oh, you have a nice low power seat. It's good.
Oh, do you not?
Don't need it. Yes.
I mean, once I'm at
And
the
time.
track,
1 minute, 21 seconds.
beat that. There's no room for you guys in the car, so how am I gonna get them out?
All right, Kurt. 3, 2, 1, go.
Whoa, that's a lot lighter.
Don't help him.
Maybe help me.
Don't, come on, man.
Fine.
Sorry, you're on your own, man.
He gets to reap the advantage of carbon fiber wheels. He has less interior space. It's that road crushing weight. So the lack of a back seat's an advantage here.
Yeah, I think he's definitely gonna be able to get 2 in the back and 1 in the front.
3 wide. You might be able to 3 wide across the rear. I feel like a Sports Center cast.
You guys shut up.
Oh yeah, he's gonna do 3 in the back.
No.
This is a real Happy Gilmore moment right here. Oh.
This is wild, but what if it doesn't fit?
He might actually.
Oh, that's really heavy. Don't run with tires.
If it doesn't fit, he's...
If he's gonna do all. Oh! Wait! Shut the door! Shut the door! Shut the door! Not only did you get all 4 in, 1 minute, 16 seconds. So you did it faster than we were able to do with the Challenger.
And you could bring a friend.
But you are so out of breath right now
Shut up.
that you are not running any races.
Oh, no, I'm not. You're next.
Oh boy.
3, 2, 1.
Are
It's
we
gonna go
helping?
so badly.
No.
So badly.
Yeah.
It's actually half as big as it looks from the outside, and it looks small from the outside.
Oh. Done. I think I've got this.
He's 108.
And we're all going to the track together, right?
Yeah. What are you doing? That's my seat.
Done. Call it.
1 minute, 36 seconds. If you weren't last, we would probably disqualify you.
You didn't even shut the door.
It's inside the vehicle. There was nothing in the rules about shutting things or being able to drive away. Camaro loses the practicality test.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
impractical.
Yeah. It's very impractical.
It is one thing for these cars to look badass, but it's something else entirely if they don't sound badass.
We should measure this.
Yeah.
If only we had a sound expert. It's not revving above 3,000 RPM. It's in neutral. I've tried it in park. This wouldn't happen with a manual.
Oh. It'll only go to 4,000 and then it just stops you. I mean, how am I going to impress my neighbors with 4,000?
Oh. Yeah, I don't have a limiter. It just lets me rev all the way to 7,500 RPM.
Mustang handily wins the sound competition.
It's almost like the Mustang engineers knew what people might want in a muscle car.
Now we've got a winding track behind us, and we're not going to find out how fast they are. We're not going to do lap times just yet, but we're here to find out how these things drive as cars.
Should you be afraid of them?
I mean, I think a lot of people are afraid of them because they are so powerful, but there's no reason to. I mean, they are surprisingly drivable.
And this is an important thing to find out because even if you are going to a racetrack, you still have to drive there and you have to drive home. So we're going to find out how they feel in that situation or on your favorite mountain road.
Is it a problem if my entire review of the Redeye is just me driving and giggling? This car is so fun. There's a lot of stuff that people can rightfully complain about, but that's not it. It's big. I mean, every time I go around a corner, I'm slowing down probably a lot more than Carlos and Kurt are going to have to in the Camaro and the Mustang, because I can feel all the weight of this car. But if you trust it, then it's sort of like a hippopotamus in ballet shoes. It's capable of surprising grace. And also, oh my God, whose idea was this? I'm sorry, I'm gonna take this more seriously. These days, because there's no contemporary equivalent of, say, the Chevelle, the pony cars have become muscle cars. And certainly the Challenger meets all the definition of a muscle car, which is the company's biggest engine in its sort of sportiest midsize car. This is a midsize car, and that is the biggest engine. 6.2 liters, a supercharger that is bigger than some engines, and of course, 797 horsepower. These seats are great, and they're huge. In fact, one of the things when you are on track is you kind of move around a little bit in them. They're not a tight fit, but when you're on the street, they're very, very comfortable and kind of plush. They're also heated and vented, which is an excellent luxury in a muscle car. As I go around this corner, visibility is not great. This is a big pillar. It is better than, say, in the Camaro, and it's about equal to the Mustang. None of these cars are fantastic for seeing out of because they're huge. They have these really long hoods. In the case of these performance versions, they have really high hoods too. I mean, I'm sitting pretty high up just so that I can see over the bulges in the hood. If you're familiar with any of the Hellcats, there are 3 modes. There's sort of a street mode, they call it auto, a sport mode, which is really kind of more of a drag racing mode, kind of gives you a lot more burnout in a straight line action. And then there's a track mode, which tightens everything up, makes the shifts really hard. You can also make a custom mode, which is great because if you like the sound and the shifts in track mode, but you like the steering better in street mode, it's up to you, baby. You can do whatever you want. This car really does it best if you just let the 8-speed automatic do all the work for you. Just don't try to second guess the machine. Let the robot win. Suspension-wise and like ride quality-wise, the Challenger absolutely destroys the other 2. Or rather, the other 2 will destroy your kidneys and lower back, and the Challenger will be like sitting on the couch. So, yes, this thing is huge. Compared to the other 2 cars, it's kind of a monster, but there's a benefit to that, and that benefit is a more comfortable ride and obviously more space. In the Mustang, it doesn't even have a back seat, and the Challenger, heck, road trip it. I think if you put all 3 cars together and said which one most meets the definition of a muscle car, the Challenger would win hands down. The other 2, at this point, are almost sports cars. And then, of course, sports cars have become supercars. Where will it end? Don't ever let it end.
Camaro ZL1 on a winding track. We're going to treat this like a country road and talk about the things that make the Camaro ZL1 1LE fun to drive. There's a lot to talk about in that respect. Yes, this car lost the sound coolness tests and, you know, barely squeaked by the usability test, but the way this thing drives remains its primary attribute. And I gotta admit, with the exhaust and track mode, when you're not trying to rev it while idle, it does sound very good in here. It's a deep baritone roar. It's not a lot of nuance to the sound. It's just sort of loud and in your face and brutish and broad, but you gotta admit, that sounds good. And when you have a 10-speed automatic that can make shifts that quick, it's a weird situation because this supercharged V8 has such a broad torque delivery, and yet when you're really on it, that transmission's shifting and RPMs are dropping in such small increments that it's a weird experience. You never expect a car with this kind of power and this broad of a torque curve to be able to shift so quickly and only have the RPMs drop so much. I mean, this engine could be peakier and use that kind of a different characteristic of power, but I gotta say I enjoy this as is, though I might enjoy it more if I had a manual. So the 1LE track package imbues this car with a lot of really nice handling attributes, and they all relate back into the driving experience when on a mountain road. Of course, the tires need to be at temperature. That's a major issue with these cars because these are racetrack-oriented tires. When these tires are cold, they are uncommunicative and they are slippery. This morning it was in the mid-30s as we were driving out to the track, and boy, did the tires have some trouble with merging on freeway and whatnot. But that's what you're getting into when you get a 1LE track package. You are buying the track package, you are opting in to that experience. That's okay. But when the tires are on, they start working really nicely with these shocks, these fixed spool valve damper shocks. The way the rest of the suspension is set up, it is highly adjustable for the weekend track rat, but in the setting it's in now, it's also fine too. Not compliant on the road, it's pretty firm, especially over bumps. It doesn't have, you know, nice adaptive dampers to soak up and adjust for comfort. This thing is all hardcore track use. but it ties all this car together and you end up with a lot of confidence in this car, especially in the front end. That's important because you have so much power. You need to be able to trust this thing to put the power down and let you escape from corner to corner. It's a big deal. You get really nicely weighted, confident steering. When the tires are working, again, that's a caveat we keep referencing, but when they're working, it feels really good. When the Camaro, it shows its downsides in normal driving. You got a peek of that at the interior usability test or functionality test where we loaded these cars up with wheels and tires. There was no space left over at all. And that's a problem with the Camaro. The trunk aperture is tiny. This interior space feels tiny as well. The visibility outward is extremely poor. It's shocking how tight the view can be outside of this car. Also, when it comes to daily driving, I gotta say the 10-speed automatic does come into its own. This transmission works great when you're pushing it really hard and when you're just tootling around town. It's when you're kind of doing the halfway driving that it's not as responsive as the Mustang's dual clutch, which is very snappy and very crisp all the time. This is still a tremendous machine for road course use, and one that, you know, ride comfort aside, is still civil enough for daily use. We still have heated and ventilated seats. I think this has a heated steering wheel as well. You still got good integration through your infotainment with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, although the screen does kind of look like it's tilted back in. That's always been an annoyance with Camaros. Still, the ZL1 1LE is the best Camaro ever at its specific job, that racetrack use. And to say it's not as punishing as it could be on the road is quite a testament to its many skills and attributes, but just know what you're getting in for. There's a lot going on here, and for the money, I think this is an incredible value.
New Shelby GT500. Oh. What? Yeah. Yeah. So it's one thing to rip around in a car like this and drive it like a hooligan, but most of the time people drive these cars are not really going to be in track mode like I am right now. They're going to be in maybe sport. So let's drop that into sport, pop it out of manual mode, and just cruise around and tell you what it's like to drive it. Obviously, it makes a lot of power. That 5.2 liter engine has a giant supercharger on it, cranks out 760 horsepower. And yeah, it goes fast. There's no two ways about it. But what's really impressive about this engine is just how tractable it is. I mean, I'm kind of cruising around now and it's still friendly. It's quick to respond. And I've driven this car in traffic and it could care less that you're in traffic. It's happy to burble along. And for an engine with this kind of power, I continue to be impressed with modern engines. This engine should not be this easy to drive, and it is. Putting all this power to the ground is smooth because of a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. The other two use a more traditional automatic setup, but this is quick shifts, crisp, but not abrupt or jarring. It's still really responsive. Oh, listen to that. I mean, I want this in my everyday car. I'm going to put this into normal mode now and just cruise around like a normal person. Now, these are pretty good tires. These are Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. And as compared to the ones on the Camaro, these are fairly run-of-the-mill high-performance tires. I mean, you can find these on any old Porsche 911. But these tires talk to you, and they have good grip when they're cold, they have good grip when they're warm. Every aspect of this car makes it a friendly car, and you can't say enough about it. In case you hadn't noticed from all the other pictures of this car, it has ginormous brakes on the front. This 16.5-inch brake rotors. And the calipers, yeah, they're 6-piston calipers, but they are gigantic 6-piston calipers. A car like this shouldn't be this easy to drive at high speed. It shouldn't be this easy to drive at low speed. I think Ford's really found the GT500 sweet spot. I'd argue this is the most well-rounded performing car of the group. You've got comfort when you want it. You've got speed when you want it. You got sound, you got quiet, you got everything. And if you got the money, you should probably buy one of these. So we've had some fun. And right over there is a road course. It's short, but it's fast. It should be fun. And I think we should do some time lapse.
Ooh, well, if we do time lapse, then we really need those to be consistent. So probably the same person should drive all three.
Dibs. Haha. Can't fight dibs.
Come on, dude.
He's right, though. You can't fight dibs. Carlos, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Punch it, baby.
I'm surprised that car turns.
Well, I mean, they made an effort with it, and it also has like steamrollers of rubber underneath it.
Let's... Can I say across the line?
Yeah, do it.
Is that trademarked? I have no idea if that's fast or not.
38-37, Carlos. Three, 2, 1, go!
He tried to get clever with launch control.
Do you feel like that worked for him?
No.
Or? I mean, I know he's tried to warm up these tires because they are a lot fussier.
This looks a bit faster.
It does look fast.
Got it.
36-11.
2.2 something seconds faster.
Yeah.
The launch control sucks.
That's what we said.
What happened?
That wasn't so
great,
hot.
then it was it's like, what?
You know?
What's going on?
Do you feel like you need to try it again?
No, it's Chevy's problem.
Well, it was still faster than the Hellcat.
Good. As physics would dictate.
And it sounds decidedly less badass than the Hellcat does.
I tell you what though, best tires here.
Yeah.
Pony boy, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
That sounds good.
Sounds like an airplane.
Love that 7-speed in that car.
I like how there's just a hint of supercharger wind.
Yeah. Don't let him know. He'll just get a big head on the Camaro.
How'd that do?
I believe your car won because that was a 36-27.
What'd the Camaro do?
3611?
Even with the bad launch.
Yeah. Those tires, man. Those tires.
Okay, let's recap. Winner of the test numbers.
Ford.
Winner of the Burnout.
Ooh, I vaguely remember the Challenger doing pretty well there.
Utility.
Ford.
Sound.
Ford.
Fun on a mountain road. Three-way tie?
Yeah, I mean, I think
that's
we all
of
had
us.
fun.
Three-way tie. Timed hot laps. Ooh, Camaro. That's its job.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be super good at math to figure out that the Mustang handily takes this. And I would be mad. I mean, I wanted the Challenger to win. It's so fun. It should be celebrated for that. But it's had its time at the top, and if it inspired something as good as the Mustang, I mean, I felt kind of proud about that. I don't think it takes anything away from the Camaro or the Challenger to recognize how good the Mustang is.
Yeah, all three of these cars are really good at their specific jobs, right? The Challenger's a giggle factory. The Camaro takes road racing very seriously. If you are really into going around racetracks fast and don't want to spend a lot of money, the Camaro 1LE ZL1 is an incredible value. But still, you gotta acknowledge what that GT500 delivers.
I'm shocked at just how well-rounded it is. I mean, previous iterations of the GT500 have been really fast and they've been really loud, but they just haven't had the breadth of practicality and handling ability that this new one has. And it is brand new. Both of those other cars have been around for a while, so Ford's had a chance to look at them and learn from them, but it's such an impressive car.
Not only is it the ultimate muscle car, it makes you reevaluate what your expectations are for a muscle car, and that's why it easily wins this comparison.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah, I agree. So thanks for watching. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and visit Edmunds for all your car shopping needs, helping you pick the right car at the right price.
You guys remember the M4?
Vaguely.
Oh, yeah.
Like Supra, wasn't that a car?
Oh, ouch. It wasn't even that long ago. No.
AMX.
I don't think they make those anymore.
Pontiac Firebird?
CUDA.